My name's Future Love Game, and I'm a man who's already become king. Welcome back to hopefully the last post-commentary part of Pokemon Platinum. A lot of P words there. We are now exploring Celestic Town. Picking ourselves up a Dragon Fang right there, which is used to evolve my boy Kingdra. Or evolve Seadra into Kingdra, but yeah, very fantastic Pokemon right there. Let me tell you about Kingdra. He has the ability Sniper, which makes critical hits do more damage, I believe. And you can also learn Focus Energy, which increases the chance of critical hits, so put 2 and 2 together, fam. I used to use him all the time in competitive when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out. Thanks to my boy Ian, Dr. Fortune Cookie, for giving me that Pokemon, so gotta give him a shout for that. He was even a good nature and everything, so we are trying to get into these ruins of the Celestic variety. And this homeboy's gonna bust out his Houndour and be like, bruh, I ain't having none of it. But we are the ones who ain't having none of him, as you can tell by our land shark dragon sinking his claws into that innocent dog of sorts. I don't think we've seen Houndour before. It is a dark fire type Pokemon, a very good special attacker. I've used that in competitive as well, actually. It's a very fast special attacker, but is incredibly fragile, so it's kind of like Weavile, but special, I guess? Somewhat. I think it even has a Mega form as of Gen 6, so that's kind of cool. As you can see, they try to confuse us here, but you can't confuse the Cane of Water, because he is the embodiment of confusion. You take one look at him and you contemplate life itself for the next week and a half. I mean, I think I said that already, because he always confuses people with that water pulse, so it's like... I mean, he's a confusing person, so it only makes sense. Anyways, of course we are too much to handle. As soon as we beat his Pokemon, he is now physically powerless. He cannot fight back whatsoever. I seriously always wondered that. Has there ever been an instance in any of the Pokemon game, anime, spin-offs, whatever, where like the characters actually use like their physical prowess even if their Pokemon get beat, or in lieu of such? I always wondered that. We're gonna go inside here and check it out though. It's got some rocks. Cause I'm gonna tell you something about me, Joe Rogan, that you might not know. I smoke rocks. Oh yeah, this probably gonna be the last post-commentary part of this game. Not for Zoid's Legacy though. Oh no, we still have, as of this recording, 2 more of those giant fucking dungeons to go through. But we can't talk about giant dungeons right now, and our boy Cyrus is making the scene for the first time, revealing himself and revealing his true intentions. And yeah, I understand that, you know, older people are more complacent. But this guy is a little too fervent about his plan to change the world. And yes, you heard him right. For the first time, we are going to challenge the leader of Team Galactic, known as Cyrus. Coming off a Crasher Wake, this guy is actually quite tough. His levels are lower, but he starts off with his signature Pokemon here, a Sneasel, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Extremely fast Pokemon and does no Ice Punch. And a very powerful physical move running off of its much more superior attack stat, which will wipe Rants out in one hit, unfortunately. It really sucks, I know. We're at a bit of a loss against this thing because we don't have a you know, your other, what do you call it, like any other super effective move to use against it. So we're just kind of going in with raw power here, going on with Psyche. By the way, who is now featured in my lovely channel art. As of this recording, my boy Nikusama has finally completed the editing and all that, so it is now on my channel. So I want to thank you so much for that, man. That is amazing artwork and will probably be up there for a long time. I was hoping I could like keep it up there and then just like making like a running theme that I used Luxray and other Pokemon LPs, but as it turns out, he is not available like pre-Elite Four in any game besides 4th Gen. That's pretty. I did not know that. Like, I guess I always knew it in the back of my mind, but I didn't know it. Like, I didn't think about it. You know, kind of interesting. This Pokemon is really only available in the generation it debuted in. It's not in Black and White 2 whatsoever. I mean, not that I ever play XY, I don't like that game, but it's not in that game in any capacity besides Friends Safari, which is post-game. It is post-game in Black and White 1, but that should go without saying, because Black and White 1 only has Gen 5 Pokemon. ORAS, I can't even remember. I think that's after game as well. And then in HGSS, it is in the Safari Zone, as well as the, like, any area you can use the Sinnoh sound in, which is a radio station of sorts. They can attract Pokemon of this gen, but yeah. I may try to shoehorn it in on my team when I do Heart Goal. Yeah, I just noticed that was quite a lot of damage there, but Cane of Water coming through with the Blizzard. Showing him that he is cold as ice. It's cooler than cold, baby. If I'm correct, I think Cane of Water, like the username was like an OC item that he came up with. Like, instead of a character, he made his own item in Zelda, because there was like the flame, the fire wand or whatever it was called, and I think there was an ice one too. So he made a Cane of Water, and that was like Link's item. So we finally got Surf, by the way. That was where you get it. I did not remember that, so thank you, old lady. Usually it is you who are forgetting the things, but it was me this time. Let me tell you, I really have only beaten this game, I think, maybe 3 times at the most. That reason being, my old PC could not fucking run Desmoom or any DS emulator. And for the longest time, I did not want to delete my file. I refused. Then I finally deleted it in 2012 and played through the game again. And then I lent it to my buddy Elijah, who will be in a future part of this LP, by the way. And here is Rance's lovely waifu, Cynthia, again. Why would you think that? Their building has fucking spikes on it, Cynthia. I know you have one eye covered by your luscious locks. I mean, I'm not all that attracted to you personally. I'm more of a wick man myself. You'll have to wait 3 generations for that one. But you gotta look at those buildings, man. I mean, you can't trust somebody that not only has spikes on their buildings, but has every member of their organization require a bowl cut. I mean, there's something mentally wrong with that, Cynthia. You gotta understand. But I believe we're gonna have to head to Canalave City, which is our next gym battle. It's gonna be a Steel-type gym, which is great for us, because guess what, bitch? We got 3 ground types. And guess what Steel is weak to? Not water. But yeah, sadly, Cane of Water has lost his ability to confuse people, status-wise. I mean, he can still confuse people just by, you know, existing, but... Of course, the closest way is going to be Jubilife City. We're going to get this lovely music once more. Just gonna chill out to it. And there is one thing I did want to show off before we went to Canalave City, because it's a whole route and everything, so... There's this building here, this big blue lovely building we could not actually access in our first visit, you know? And it is a building that is fairly useless to us now, but I say as I go somewhere else. I forgot what I did in this part, so forgive me. I think I was just talking about random shit at this point, but yeah, okay. So this here, my friends, was at one point in time the central hub for all things Pokemon Online. It was... Again, it's all shut down now. The Nintendo Wi-Fi connection has long since been shut down, I believe in 2012 or 13, I want to say. I could be wrong on that, but it was quite a while ago now. There was a point, let me tell you, when this place was, like I said, the place to be, the central hub. You could upload battle videos, watch others. I remember when I first came here and it was just so fucking fascinating to me because I could register all this stuff and like mark myself on the map on that globe down there. And you could even like do the little, you could upload your dressed up Pokemon, which was kind of cool. I used to do that all the time. But and then it has, of course, the famous GTS, the first online trading system, where you can actually put a Pokemon in, request a Pokemon that you want in return, and sometimes you could like go to sleep and then come on the next day, and it would be on there. Of course, you always had the dicks who would put like some stupid Pokemon on there and then request like a level 100 Mew or some like Pokemon that couldn't possibly exist, like Luxray level 10 and under, which is impossible without hacking. But it was like such a great central hub for everything, and it's just coming here now is so saddening to me. It's very bittersweet because obviously all of this is now shut down and impossible to use. But honestly, I came here because I kind of wanted to give just a big, massive shout out to all the people that I used to play online with back in my competitive days. Which, not to say that's over, I would like to get Ultra Sun and Moon and play that again, but back when I first got into it, you know? Like when I very first checked out the whole scene and did that tournament and all that, you know, people like Megasonic, the guy that was way back in the day was in my Ruby LP. Shout outs to you, man. I know you still do videos sometimes, so you might see this. He's been doing Halo. But yeah, and then Foxcloud, I don't know where the hell you are. I haven't heard from you in like 3 or 4 years now, but straight up, anybody that I played with back in the day, even Pokemon Trainer dude, who I'm sure is long gone. Not fucking dead, but I mean, he's probably not on YouTube anymore. But it was a different time, it really was. It didn't seem like that long ago that you'd get on your DS and talk to people. Because back then I didn't have a mic for the computer, so all I had to talk on besides the Xbox was like my DS. I would get in, like, I would hold it to my head like a fucking phone and talk on that bitch all night to different people in the lobby. And it was so cool because like your lobby would get bigger and bigger the more friends you added. And it was such a fun time getting on there to battle people and trade and again just talk for hours on end. And yeah, come here to upload your battle videos, and check out the other ones. There was the first one I found funny enough was like a Ditto versus Ditto match that like never ended. Oh man, that was that was almost 6 years. No, that was almost 6. That was almost 10 years ago. Getting close to it. Because we're in a few days gonna be 2018. This game came out in 2009, early 2009 at that. So, fuck, man, this game was about to be 10 years old. I remember when I was in sophomore year, and I got this game when it came out, thanks to my dad. And many a day after school, I would sit under the trees near the creek right next to the high school and just play my game until my dad came to pick me up. And it was, again, just quite the magical experience. Quite, you know, it's part of the reason I love this game so much, is all the great memories I hold with it. And much as I love the single player campaign, a lot of the greatness did come from the multiplayer, you know? Just, again, getting to play people all the time. Back when this was a hugely community-based game. It brought so many people together that were not really, like, around as much during the Gen 3 days, because that didn't have online, so you had to either play an emulator or go in person, so this was kind of the game that brought Pokemon kind of slowly back into the mainstream, thanks to the online capabilities and all that, largely, I would say. And, I mean, I reiterate, at one point in time, this was the place to be, the central hub, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the global terminal, and sadly, it is a hollow shell of what it used to be right now, and it saddens me to say that. I thought I'd never be saying that, but all good things gotta come to an end, I guess. You know, we got online with the new game, so it's not so bad. It's just one of those things, if you're like me and you were big into it back then, you look back on it and you think of all the hours you spent, of all, you know, all the time you put into it. And if you got any memories like that, please do feel free to share them in the comments, because I would love to hear your stories. Make them as long as you want. And until then, this is Future Love Game, wishing you guys a happy 2018 and signing off.